Hi, everyone. I have to apologize. I'm out today because my son had to have emergency surgery last night. So, what happened is after school, he was out playing with his friends and he totally face planted off of a neighbor's swing, which pushed his gums in his mouth up too high. So, they had to surgically pull them back down. So, last night he had surgery at about 10 o'clock and we were discharged from the hospital about 1 o'clock in the morning. So, he therefore needs my help today a little bit more. So here is our lesson plan. We are going to be doing 2 lessons today. This is the first of the 2. And if you are in Math Workshop, this is the only lesson that you have today. So here's what I need for you to do. Please open up your workbooks to page 18. Page 18 looks like this. The first do now that we're going to be doing is this center column here. Okay? So this is your problem. What we have is we have used the numbers to create 2 equations that have the same proportional relationship. Use y equals k times x form. You may use one tile twice. So what we have is we're going to use one of these tiles to make an answer, use a different tile to make a number, and use a different tile to make another number. So when these 2 numbers are multiplied, they make this answer over here on the left. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of time to work on that, and then we're going to chat through with it. All right, so because of time, I'm just going to kind of go ahead and tell you some of the things that I know. So we have 1 equals 0.5, and I have to apologize because my handwriting on this is completely terrible, times 2. That is an equation that is true in this situation. We also have 8 equals 4 times 2. So do you see how I repeated the 2 one time? So that is our solution. Go ahead and write that in your workbook. If you need to pause the video, please feel free to do so. All right, now we are on page 22. On page 22, let me move this out of the way over here. On page 22, remember we start in the center column and then we move to the right-hand side. We have the equation y equals 1.5 times x represents the time an artist spends priming canvases each day. Use the graph to determine if the points A, 2, 3, and B, 7, 12 satisfy the equation. Now, hopefully your brain is going straight here and you're noticing, I've got these ordered pairs and I've got some sort of weird equation up here, okay? When we see the ordered pairs, what we're going to do is we're going to plot them. Obviously, at this point in your life, hopefully you know that the x comes first. That's an x, sorry. And then the y comes second. So what does that mean? That means we go over 2 and up 3. Do you see how that point is on the orange line? That means that this satisfies the equation. It's on the line, so it works. Let's check 7, 12. We go over 7, up 12, and you see how this point, not a line, this point is not on the line. That means that this point does not satisfy the equation. It satisfies the equation when the point is on the line. Okay? We actually did not even have to do anything with this equation up here because all we need to do is plot and see what's going on. Now, if we wanted to use this equation, now you're going to have to forgive me. We have x as 2 and y as 3. So what we do is we take 2 and we substitute it for x, and we take 3 and we substitute it for y, and we see if the equation is true. So we have 3, because that's our y value, equals 1.5 times our x value, which is 2. Now 1.5 times 2 is actually 3. and 3 from the left-hand side equals 3. So that is another reason why it supports and satisfies the equation. If I did the same thing with 7 and 12, I would take 7 and substitute that for my x value, and I would take 12 and substitute that for my y value. So I would have 12 equals 1.5, and parentheses mean times, so we're going to do times my x value, which is 7. Now, 1.5 times 7, I'm going to give you a second to see if you can figure that out. Feel free to use a calculator if you need. 1.5 times 7 is 10.5. So we can see if we bring this 12 down, that 12 does not equal 10.5. So once again, that also proves that this does not satisfy the equation. Okay? Please make sure that all gets copied into your workbook. If you need to pause the video now, please do so. All right, the third column. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to be doing a lot of algebra. Okay, so what we have is we have our equation. The equation y equals 3.5x represents the relationship between an image's height and width. Are the points 2, 7, 3, 8, and 5, 17.5 solutions to the equation? What do we need to do? We need to take 2, 7 and substitute it in, just like what we did on the last problem. 2, remember, is our x value, and 7 is our y value. So we have 7 equals 3, oh geez, sorry, that's terrible, 0.5 times our x value, which is 2. So does 7 equal 3.5 times 2? 3.5 times 2 is 7, so yes, it is a solution. Okay, let's do the same thing here. We have our x value, which goes here for our x, and our y value, which goes here for our y, so apologize for my handwriting. We have 8 equals, I'm trying to do this on my mouse on my computer, and you guys know how that works with your Chromebooks. 8 equals 3.5 times my x value, which is 3. Now, 3.5 times 3 equals 10.5. So does 8 equal 10.5? Nope. So therefore, it is not a solution. It does not work. It is a no. Lastly, we do the same process for here. We have 5 as our x and 17.5 as our y. So we have 17.5 equals 3.5 times our x value, which is 5. So 3.5 times 5 is 17.5. So does 17.5 equal 17.5? Sure it does. Now, if we are plotting these to check these points, let's see what happens. 2, 7. I go over 2 and up 7. And do you see how my point is on the line? Another reason why it satisfies. We also have 3, 8. If I go over 3 and up 8, do you see how that point is not on our line? So it does not satisfy the equation, which is what we found with the algebra. For our last one, we have 5, 17.5 over 5, up 17.5. It satisfies the equation because it is on the line. Please pause the video to copy all of this in your workbook if you have not done so already. All right. Lastly, everybody, what I need you to do is go to page 23 in your workbook. Remember, you're responsible to complete this column, and lastly, this column. When you finish with that, please make sure that you're getting all of your digital time done that you need to. If you are in fourth hour students, you have one more lesson after this for today. I hope you guys have a great day and enjoy your weekend.